What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, the man known as the Gypsy King, undefeated two-time heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Tyson the Gypsy King Fury, he does an interview, he does a special behind the scenes in which obviously Tyson Fury, 30 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 21 wins by way of knockout, 32 years of age, stands at 6'9" with an 85-inch arm reach. He's promoted by legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum, and he fights on the network in which they have a deal with ESPN, worldwide leader in sports. With that said, Tyson Fury, he does a special behind the scenes, and he reveals all of the special things he has made for Deontay Wilder, right? Now, Tyson Fury had his highly anticipated trilogy match with Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American heavyweight world champion, superstar boxer who's one of only 6 fighters in the history of the sport of boxing to successfully defend his titles 10 times, that being none other than Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. 42 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 41 big wins by way of knockout. He is 35 years of age, stands at 6'7" with an 83-inch arm reach. That includes Deontay Wilder knocking down and knocking out every opponent he's ever faced in his career, including Tyson Fury twice. So with that said, Tyson Fury, in the reveal of their arrivals to Las Vegas, Nevada, at the T-Mobile Arena. Now, they will be staying at the MGM, but the grand arrivals was at the T-Mobile Arena, okay? So the T-Mobile Arena is where the fight is actually going to take place, okay? So MGM Grand is where they'll be staying. Tyson Fury, correction, is actually 33 years of age. He turned 33 years of age August 12th of this year. So he's actually 33 years of age. Excuse me, I'm staying corrected. But Tyson Fury, he revealed in his special all of the special things that he had made for Deontay Wilder. Now, Tyson Fury, at the grand arrivals for this fight, Tyson Fury, he stated that he's living rent-free in Deontay Wilder's head because Deontay Wilder continues to discuss and bring up all of the reasons and allegations that he has reason to believe that Tyson Fury had an unfair advantage. Burned the gloves, and obviously we know his situation with his former trainer, Mark Breland, that he parted ways with, and now he's trained by heavyweight star title contender Malik King Scott, okay? So Malik Scott is a boxing brain just like Mark Breland. So Malik Scott, he's rejuvenated Deontay Wilder, okay? Deontay Wilder, he says that Malik Scott is a breath of fresh air because it's not that he's teaching him something new. He's bringing him and pulling all the tools out the toolbox to get Deontay Wilder to remember, you have this you can use, you have that you can use, okay? And Deontay Wilder, he also stated that Tyson Fury, he didn't knock me out. He says that I was, at my worst, and he still didn't knock me out. So obviously Deontay Wilder, he's confident that he's going to win the trilogy match. So Tyson Fury, he jokingly stated that, well, not jokingly, but the person interviewing him, they were joking, Christina Ponder, and she stated that, Tyson Fury, when Tyson Fury stated that I'm going to double wrap my hands, she stated that, maybe you could add egg weights, okay? So Deontay Wilder, we know, he says that, the dent in his head was caused by an object. He probably had something in the form of an egg weight in his glove, okay? And so she poked fun of that, okay? So Tyson Fury, he went on to say how Deontay Wilder is living rent-free in Deontay Wilder's head. But yet Tyson Fury has all these custom things made for Deontay Wilder, okay? One in which Tyson Fury is a very tall man at 6'9", okay? So the normal stool that's in the corner is not tall enough for Tyson Fury. So they have a stool that's actually a whole foot taller for Tyson Fury in his corner, okay? And the stool he had custom made with Deontay Wilder's face on it. And it says Big Dosa, which is Big Dosa in the UK, it stands for a guy without a home, okay? We know Tyson Fury's a gypsy, so, they're travelers, okay? So with that said, he calls Deontay Wilder Big Dosa, man without a home. because he says that Deontay Wilder has less fans in the U.S., United States, than he does. Well, we know the reason why. There's a long backstory on that, okay? When you look at the black athletes and the support they get, even in the Olympics, from their own country in the United States, because the United States is quote-unquote seen as a melting pot, okay, they don't get the same treatment. They don't get the same support as many other athletes would, okay, in their positions. Now, there's some athletes in certain sports, in the quote-unquote 4 major sports, when you have the NBA, National Basketball Association, you have the NHL, National Hockey League, you have the NFL, National Football League, and you have the MLB, Major League Baseball. Okay, then you have what is considered to be semi-pro sports in college, when you have scholar athletes in NCAA football, NCAA basketball. Those are huge, huge sports here in the United States. And to top that off, boxing has fell on the list of major sports. So not only does boxing fall on the list of major sports, but Deontay Wilder has it 2 times double over, because he's a black athlete as well. And we know how that bowls over here in the States, okay? They're not perceived and they're not supported in the manner that you have other athletes. Other athletes like Tyson Fury in the UK, United Kingdom. The UK supports all their fighters, okay? Win, lose, or draw. Look at the attention and look at the way you have a guy like Derek Chisora, who has multiple losses on his resume, and he still gets the support, okay? If you look at a guy like Deontay Wilder, okay, now let's look at Deontay Wilder. Well, let's just look at Derek Chisora first, okay? Currently, Derek Chisora has 32 wins, 11 losses. He was knocked out 3 times, okay? No draws. Derek Chisora is 37 years of age, yet he's still a major draw over in the UK, okay? Dillian White has been brutally knocked out twice. He's still a major draw in the UK. You have Anthony Joshua now has been knocked out, well, stopped in 1 fight, dropped 4 times, stopped. You have him losing a unanimous decision badly on the scorecards in his last fight to Alexander Usyk, and yet he still gets tons and tons of support. Deontay Wilder is treated like his career is over. He has 1 loss to a guy that's considered, before Deontay Wilder became a champion, before Anthony Joshua became a champion, before the heavyweight division was seen as a 3-headed monster, you had Tyson Fury, who defeated Vladimir Klitschko, okay, when Vladimir Klitschko was on a 10-year reign, okay? This was back in 2015, November 2015. Tyson Fury fought Vladimir Klitschko, was on a 10-year reign. He was the unified WBA, IBF, WBO, and IBO and Ring Magazine champion, okay? Tyson Fury defeated Vladimir Klitschko back in 2015. He became the unified champion. He was seen as the best heavyweight in the world. This was before Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua came on the scene in the manner that in which they came on, okay? Deontay Wilder beat Bermane Stiverne in January of 2015, okay? Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko in November of 2015, okay? So Tyson Fury was seen as the best heavyweight when Deontay Wilder was just getting his opportunity for a world title, okay? And so Tyson Fury went on a 3-year hiatus. So Deontay Wilder's only loss, he's treated like his career is over. He was dropped twice and stopped in the 7th round by Tyson Fury, who was considered at one point to be the best heavyweight in the world, as he ended Vladimir Klitschko's 10-year reign as the heavyweight world champion. He was seen, he replaced Vladimir Klitschko as the best heavyweight in the world. That's the only loss and the only blemish on his resume. He has a draw and a loss to Tyson Fury. He was dropped twice and stopped in the 7th round. Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz Jr., who already had a loss on his resume. He lost to Andy Ruiz Jr. Tyson Fury doesn't have a loss. He was considered the best heavyweight in the world at one point in time. This is who Deontay Wilder lost to. Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz Jr., who was not even top 10 heavyweight at the time. He was actually Anthony Joshua's 4th option. Anthony Joshua initially chose Jarrell Big Baby Miller, American heavyweight superstar title contender, but we know he tested positive for banned substance and was removed from the fight. Anthony Joshua needed a replacement at that point in time. The replacement was seen as possibly Dillian White in a rematch of their fight. And Dillian White decided he didn't have enough time and didn't want the fight. So Dillian White pulled out of the fight. Then they explored the option of possibly fighting Luis King Kong Ortiz. And Luis Ortiz, he already had a deal in place to fight Deontay Wilder for big money in a rematch. And he wanted to avenge the loss, the only loss on his resume. So he didn't accept the fight. And then, according to Eddie Hearn, Matchroom CEO and promoter Anthony Joshua, stated that he got a message from Andrew Ruiz stating that I guarantee you that I'll give you my best effort and put my best foot forward to look to make a fight with Anthony Joshua. If you just give me the opportunity, I guarantee. This was Anthony Joshua making his debut in the United States for the first time as a heavyweight professional. He fought in the States as an amateur, never as a professional, okay? And so they gave Andrew Ruiz the opportunity. And Andrew Ruiz, we know the rest is history. He dropped Anthony Joshua 4 times and stopped him in the same round, 7th round. They both were stopped in the corner. The difference is the referee asked Anthony Joshua if he wanted to continue, and he didn't answer properly, and the referee waved it off. Deontay Wilder was in his corner, and his trainer threw in the towel, and he was only dropped twice. But he lost to what was considered the best heavyweight in the world, and Anthony Joshua lost to a guy who wasn't even in the top 10. But Anthony Joshua, now he got the opportunity to rectify it December of that year, in which he beats Andrew Ruiz Jr. in the rematch. And he's praised for being a 2-time unified heavyweight champion. Deontay Wilder has yet to get his opportunity to step in the ring to rectify it, because the first fight ended in a draw. And you can make a case Deontay Wilder won the first fight. He dropped Tyson Fury twice in the first fight. Okay? And so with that said, it was when Anthony Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz was one of the hugest, biggest upsets in the history of sport of boxing. Deontay Wilder lost to what was considered the best heavyweight in the world, and this is his first opportunity to get to be able to rectify the only loss on his resume to the best heavyweight in the world, and he's treated as if his career has already ended. Anthony Joshua is still praised, so we know there's a complete difference, and especially the way the sport of boxing is perceived in the UK. It's top 3 biggest sports in the UK. The sport of boxing in the States is at best, comes in at number 7 and competes with the UFC on a high level. So the sport of boxing doesn't compete. So the way and Deontay Wilder, again, is an African-American black athlete, okay? And the perception that they get here in the States is not the same in the support. So Tyson Fury calling Deontay Wilder a big doser is a complete misconception, because Tyson Fury is not aware, or maybe he is and just doesn't care, but he's not aware how it is the sport of boxing in the States and how black American athletes are treated here in the States, in their own country. So Big Dosa stands for a fighter without a country, a man without a home. Well, Deontay Wilder, essentially to a degree, is a foreigner in his own home. But that's for another conversation. So Tyson Fury, he has a stool made up with Deontay Wilder's face on it. So he says that I could sit on his face in between rounds. And we know the rest. So, can't wait till Saturday night, October 9th. We're going to see and get a conclusion. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Raw. Make sure you like the shady videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hey, this is Ebony Bridges, Blonde Bomber, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.